Hey guys, Jamie Williams from Octane Fitness Center here, and today I am going to be talking to you about how to create a grocery store game plan and how keeping it simple is the key to success when you're trying to create healthy, easy, delicious meals on a regular basis. So, first of all, I just want to start off with a little bit of background about myself in this department, just to kind of get us kickstarted and so you know where I'm coming from. So, a couple years ago, maybe not even a couple years ago, maybe earlier than that, a year or so ago, I used to go into the grocery store. I used to have no plan, no list, no nothing, totally chaotic, is how I would describe it. I used to go in, I used to browse the shelves for hours, not hours, maybe like a little over an hour. um, I used to browse the shelves, kind of pick things based on what sounded good, based on what I might want to cook that week, or oh, I like this, or oh, this is new, this looks cool, that packaging's pretty. You just kind of go in and grab things, not really pay attention to price, not really have any idea of what I was going to do with those food items. And what ended up happening was either A, I buy just like a lot of junk that I don't need. Kind of like that pseudo healthy food that you find in the stores. I would grab a whole bunch of that. And it either would get eaten way too fast, wouldn't get eaten, or wouldn't get eaten. And I would end up spending way more money on groceries than I ever should. And also, I was often left kind of confused in my direction for my meals. I still didn't know what I was going to cook that evening or the next evening, because I didn't have a game plan. I didn't have an idea of what my week was going to look like. I just walked in and I grabbed what sounded good to me in the moment and didn't really think it through at all. So, does this sound like you? Because I know that a lot of people struggle with this. So if this sounds like you, then this is the right workshop for you, because there are a lot of things that you can do to kind of mitigate that and to kind of climb yourself out of that deep trench of misdirection in the grocery stores. This went on for far too long for me, and I was over it. One day I just realized, man, like I need to have a sense of direction. So I decided that I needed to keep it simple. So hence the name of the workshop. Keep it simple, sweetie. We're gonna roll with that, and I'm gonna teach you how I've learned to keep things simple and how keeping it simple has allowed me to really flourish and figure out my own nutritional plan, and how you can figure out your nutritional plan and keep things on track and keep your life stress-free in the eating department. So, where do you start? Where do you start on your game plan? How do you create your game plan? The most important part is obviously keeping it simple. And there are a few steps because, your life is complicated. We've all got things, dropping stuff. We've all got things going on. We've got our jobs, we've got our families, we've got stuff outside of that, outside stressors. Your food should be the last thing that is stressful. So simplify it by starting with these few steps. Healthy eating does not need to be complicated. It does not need to stress you out. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy your food. So, first of all, first things first, start with the menu. Start with the menu. Think about it before the week starts. Whatever day you usually go grocery shopping, I know for a lot of people this is like Sunday, maybe Saturday for you, maybe it's a Monday. Usually it's Mondays for me. I actually go after work. After work, I go get my workout in, and then I go to the grocery store, come home. And that's how I do it. But whatever day you go to the grocery store, maybe like the day before or even earlier on in that day, plan a menu for the week. Be thinking about, okay, what kind of dinners do I want to make? What am I eating for breakfast? And plan your list around that. So write those down. Here are the meals that I want to make. This is what I want. And then you're going to go from there. My partner and I, we sit down, or whenever we're just hanging out on the weekend, we're like, what sounds good this week? What we like to create. And then we go from there. Next step is going to be make a list. Make a list with those. And guess what? I have drafted one up for you guys. I'm going to bring it close to the camera so you can see it. This Kiss, kiss. Keep it simple, sweetie. It's a little cute little grocery list. And those will be sent out in the email, or they have been sent out in the email. They are attached to the email for this week for our September Self-Improvement September plan. So you can find that on there. You can actually download this, and you can print it out and use it at home if you want to. I think it's super, super cute. And starting with a list is super, super important. And especially if it's fun and interactive like this, it can make yourself, hold yourself more accountable to do it. So categorize your list like I've done here on this one. I have proteins, produce, dairy, and aisles, kind of like the main spots in the grocery store. You're going to stick to this every single week with very, very slight variations. Very slight variations. You're going to want to be consistent. You're going to want to try to get the same things pretty much every single week with slight variations. One of the keys to eating healthy and keeping things simple to be successful is simplicity, is consistency. Consistency with eating. So, like I said, very minor changes. This is your template. You are changing as your meals change, but really the structure should remain the same. Here is so I'll give you an example. Here's my grocery list, and this is what I go by pretty much every single week, and with slight variations if I want to switch it up with the meals, depending on what I want to make. So my produce, I've got baby spinach, bell peppers, bananas, avocados, yellow onion, cucumbers, baby carrots, hummus. I put in the produce area. I'm not really sure where that lies. Protein, I've got chicken breast. I've got top sirloin for fajitas, ground turkey, and some turkey sausage patties. Dairy, I've got eggs, Greek yogurt. I get some low-fat cheese sticks, Parmesan feta, some low-fat mozzarella, and maybe some low-fat milk. And the aisles, I'm getting Kodiak cakes mix or the oatmeal, PB2 powder, the Bonza pasta, which is amazing. If you have not tried it, chickpea pasta. It's phenomenal. Salsa, pasta sauce, dressing for salad, and blue corn tortilla chips because we like to enjoy those when we have our fajitas. So just an example, that is a list that I get these items pretty much every single week. That's staple on my list, and I create from there. And that has worked for me. It changes very, very little, just depending, if we want to make a different fun meal, but we kind of rotate through the same meals and just keep our list very, 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 very similar. 3, head to the store, start shopping, right? Super simple. Head to the store, start shopping. When you're shopping, the most important thing to keep in mind is you want to shop the perimeters first, and I'm sure you've heard that. I'm sure this is not your first rodeo on that one. Shopping the perimeters, but why? You've always heard that. Why? Because the perimeter is going to have the freshest food. You've got your produce. You have like the deli and the bakery, right? Like that's whatever. But you have your produce, and you've got your dairy, and you've got your proteins. Those are going to be your whole food sections mainly. Kind of the things that are minimally processed. And of course there are processed things that are in those sections that have lots of added ingredients, and you want to be smart when you're shopping, but those areas are going to have the most whole foods, most minimally processed foods. So shop the perimeters first before you go into the aisles. And of course there are many useful staples that are in the aisles. That's why there's a category for it. But you want to get those fresh foods from the perimeters. Also, the aisles tend to be just kind of crammed with junk food. And if you're anything like me, I know that, if I'm buying junk food, even if I say, I'm only going to have a couple bites or I'm only going to have a couple pieces or whatever, it'll be gone in a day. So I don't even go into those sections. I just avoid them like the plague. I really do, because I know it's not going to end well for me. So that's that. Head to the store, you're going to shop the perimeters. 4, last tip here for you guys. Never, ever shop hungry. Never shop hungry. This is a huge one because at the end of the day, like I said, I go shopping on Mondays. So I go from work, I go do my workouts, and then I go to the grocery store. Before I go to the store, and this is not something I always used to do, I make sure I eat a snack. I make sure I'm going into that shopping trip satiated. Why? Why does that matter? Just, it's quite simple, really. The hungrier you are, the better everything is going to sound. You're going to end up impulse buying, more than likely, foods that you would not normally purchase. And more often than not, junk, snacky foods. When I go into a grocery store and I am like famished, I have to fight now to not buy my favorite snack foods because they just sound so freaking good because you're so hungry. You want nothing more but to eat those immediately right now. And guess what? They're convenient, so you can immediately eat them. There's no preparation involved. So they sound so good and so tempting. So I go to the grocery store now a little bit full. You know, I won't eat usually not like a full meal, but I at least have a snack, and I would highly recommend doing that. You don't have to eat a full meal. If you do eat a full meal, whatever, that's cool. But grab a protein bar, a protein shake, or eat, a nice balanced snack, balanced meal before you go, so you're not giving in to that temptation that you experience all around the store. It's very, very, very difficult to avoid buying your favorite foods when you are starving and that's all you can think about. So that is a super important tip, not related to keeping it simple necessarily, but when you're in the grocery store, that should be part of your game plan. Never shop hungry because you want to stay on track. You want to make sure that you are stacking your pantry and your fridge or stocking your pantry and your fridge full of nutritious, healthy foods that you are going to eat throughout the week, not foods that you're going to, not feel good after eating, that you're going to just stuff your face with in one sitting, because nobody feels good after they do that. So some big takeaways, guys. Keep dropping this. At the end of the day, this should not be stressful, right? Food should not be stressful. If you're having a lingering stress all the time about preparing your meals and going grocery shopping and all of these things and trying to stay on track with your health, I just want to tell you that you can eliminate that stress. And this whole grocery store game plan is a huge way that you can eliminate that stressor, because having that sense of direction and having a plan before you even go into the week is just a huge load off. Keep the breakfast and lunch the same. Like, okay, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat that. That's my plan. Okay, here's my dinners. Might have some variation there, because dinner time is that time that families kind of come together and it's fun and everybody gets to relax and talk about their day. So switch those dinners up. Have a plan for it, though. It can be fun. It can be interactive. It doesn't have to be, these meals don't have to be complicated. In this Self-Improvement September program, so far, if you haven't already seen it, we have a My Plate Balanced Meals workshop by Jaime McLaren, and then we have some food demos and meal prep hacks with Brittany and Hope from last week, and those are all on the channel as well. Those are fantastic workshops that will teach you what creating those balanced, simple meals looks like. And it doesn't have to be complicated. They really, really, if you watch those, they do a great job of showing you just a couple ways that you can make simple, easy, delicious, nutritious meals at home, stress-free. So if you haven't already, go and check those out. But definitely, guys, it doesn't have to be super complicated. And if you are participating in our challenge for this month, then you'll see how just, improving one part of a meal. Let's say you swap your regular pasta for that garbanzo bean bonza pasta that I talked about. Well, you added some protein, you added some micronutrients, you added some fiber. That's awesome. That's a simple way to improve a meal. That's easy. It's not stressful, and it tastes delicious. So things like that, guys. Super, super, super simple. We're keeping it simple. Follow these tips. Try to create a game plan every single week. Be intentional with it, with your grocery store game plan, and you will never, ever stress about your eating ever again throughout the week. I'm telling you. I used to get so stressed. Like I told you, I used to get so stressed about it. I used to not know what I was doing. I used to come home and dread cooking. I would just go buy a rotisserie chicken, which is fine, and be like, I was going to eat this, because I didn't have any direction or any plan. Now I feel confident going into the week. I feel ready to cook my meals, and I know that I'm keeping it simple, so it's not going to take me a long time to create those healthy, balanced, and nutritious meals. Like I said, if you haven't already, head on over to our channel and check out those other workshops by Jaime and Brittany and Hope to, check out some simple meal hacks because they are awesome. And guys, I encourage you, if you're participating in our self-improvement September challenge, keep staying strong with it. We're almost done. We're in the home stretch, and I hope that you learned something from this experience. I hope that you're moving. I hope that you're getting those steps in or taking our classes, and you guys are awesome. Keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.